Hello, good afternoon to you and welcome. It is Hard Factor 92.3 Nigeria Info here in Port Harcourt, the number one talk station. I'm Dio. 12 minutes gone past 3 p.m. Let's talk. On today's edition of the show, from now till 7 o'clock, discussions are on. I'm sure you're on via facebook.com/Nigeria Info page. Well, YouTube also, Nigeria Info page. Watch live, listen live, drop a comment, follow the conversation, catch up on what you may have missed as well. And remember to like and follow these pages appropriately to ensure that you stay abreast and not news are concerned. I hope you had a fine weekend and are geared for what the week has to offer. And I hope the start to the week has been a promising one for you. And in spite of the rains and all, I hope that I hope things aren't wet in your life. I hope the things are bright and things are looking up. Welcome again. Let's see. So a few matters lined up for today's discussions. Let's get right to them, one at a time. How about we get things rolling with a preview of what to expect on the show today? I've got side comments coming up shortly, random stories and random thoughts that caught my attention. Not to be discussed now, but much later on, during the open season segment, I'll take your thoughts on my side comments and every other matter that is brought up on the show today. After the 6 p.m. meeting, is that this? After the side comment, I have a rant coming up. I'll express my thoughts on some issue. I'd like to get your take on that till 4 o'clock. At 4, we've got business news coming up. Is security vote security states treasuries? Is it? A security vote securing states treasuries? Here's the story from where was it? Where was it from? Was it the Cable? The Cable actually captioned governors to meet with EFCC, ICPC over management of security votes April 4. The governors of the 36 states of Nigeria are expected to meet with economic and financial agencies in the country over the management of the state security votes. Now, security vote is a monthly allocation given to state governments for improved security. According to women, Tuesday, April 4. Now, Asishan Bayo Okauru, a DG of Nigeria Governors Forum, said the agencies expected to be at the meeting include the EFCC, ICPC, FIRS, and the CBN. Furthermore, the meeting will also consider deepening the management and expansion of the cashless policy, which took effect from the time of the redesigning of the currency, the Nigerian naira, last year, to further the financial inclusion of all citizens in ensuring the ensuing scheme of things going forward. All governors are advised to prioritize the meeting as its contents had been discussed at the NGF message, where it unanimously agreed that a conjunction with the agencies mentioned above was imperative. So we'll discuss the issue of security votes in the 4 o'clock hour. I'd like to get your take on that. Should the state governors keep getting this security vote? Should they keep getting the security vote? Do you think they should? And here's the story from the business day. I'll give you some more insights on that when we get to the 4 o'clock hour and this conversation comes up. This was published June 2021. Insecurity, governors, local government chairman pocket over 375 billion naira security vote annually, yet situation persists. And one of the interesting things about the security vote is that there is no accountability. Nobody accounts for how security votes are expended. It's an interesting situation, really, with the security vote. By the way, do we have security concerns that need attending to? Absolutely so. And a quick Google search, by the way, pops up an article on Wikipedia. Interestingly, security vote in Nigeria is a monthly allowance that's allocated to the 36 states within the Federal Republic of Nigeria for the sole purpose of funding security services within such states. The monthly fund runs into billions of naira and vary based on the level of security required by the individual state. States such as, this is from Wikipedia, by the way, the states such as Rivers States, who face security threats such as pipeline destructions, kidnapping, receive one of the largest security vote funds. Security votes have not been widely accepted by citizens, as most have claimed that such funds are being abused by the state governments, because how the funds are disbursed is not accountable to any agency. The state governments are advised to use their discretion in ways on how to spend the funds. So, We'll look at this once again in the 4 o'clock hour. I'll also be asking you, should state governors account for security vote expenditure? Even if they account for how they expend security vote. I'll get your take on that in the 4 o'clock hour. That takes us to 5 o'clock. Is Chima Ikunado resting in peace? Is he? Is Chima Ikunado resting in peace? And here's the story from our bulletin from earlier this morning. 3 of the 4 Ikoko who are known victims of police torture, which led to the death of an auto mechanic, Chima Ikunado, in Rivers State in 2019, are calling on the judiciary to use the Ikoko 4 case as a deterrent to erring police officers. Now, they made a call by reacting to the Federal High Court judgment that awarded 75 million naira against the Nigeria police in a fundamental human rights suit brought by the family of late Chima Ikunado. Now, one of them, Ifeanyi Onyekwere, told our correspondent that the judiciary would need to pay close attention to the ongoing matter of the Ikoko 4 case. Let's take a listen to what he had to say on this situation. Okay, I'll look into that sound later on. Moving on. Another of the Ikoko 4, Osaze Friday, expressed concern over the delay in getting judgment against the 4 police officers who are still standing murder trial for the killing of Chima Ikunado. Also, the other of the 4, Ifeanyi Suji, expressed happiness over Friday's judgment. Justice for Tacho is suffered in police detention in 2019. So we'll take a look at this. This news broke, I think it was 6 Friday or so. Some light, some ray of hope, indeed. That finally justice is being served somewhat. Maybe not fully yet, not entirely. We're waiting for the outcome of the criminal matter. There could be some other fundamental rights cases treated by the other 4 living Ikoko members, they may have matters as well. But one that definitely puts all of them together is the criminal matter. Still waiting for a resolution to that as well. But a ray of light nonetheless. So we'll look at this in the 5 o'clock hour. How would you rate the justice system in the light of the COVID-19? And also, did the River State Police Command draw any lessons? Did they learn anything from the Ikoko 5 incident? We'll look at that longer after the update. At 5:30, the major news comes up at a review of all these matters after that. The open season segment till about 7 o'clock. Then we wrap up today. The sports gang are in after that for extra time. Bring you all the action from the world of sports. And I'm sure that they tell you about Arsenal's brilliance. Over the weekend. It was absolutely fantastic. It was it was a sublime display from the Gunners there. It was breathtaking. Once again, the one team that plays football that got intended for football to be, you can't help but marvel. But marvel at their sheer genius when you watch the Arsenal side do their stuff. I think with about 9 games to go to the end of the season, here's wishing everybody the very best. Indeed, everyone very best. And congratulations to all the Arsenal fans out there, by the way. I'm sure you all enjoyed the victory over the weekend. Alright, let's get on. I'm not up for discussion now. Just my random thoughts and stories. Let's start with this one. Actually, it tells stories concerning the same thing, really. Any residents of Okot were left stranded in the traffic grid on the GRA axis of Aba Road. Members of the PD in River State blocked both the lines and GRA areas of Aba Road, which are 2 major axes listed. And by the way, I must expressly state beforehand that this is in order. It doesn't matter if you agree with the reason the person has decided to protest or not. Everybody has a fundamental right to protest, not in any way. If PDP members or one individual or group of individuals, the guys of any group or ages of any association come together and say, you know what, we don't like, I don't know, give me an idea of something. We don't like that roses are red. We want to protest roses being red. We think roses should be, I don't know, should be pink. Or roses should be black. I think there are black roses though. Whatever it is, anybody can protest anything. So it's a fundamental right. And there's nothing wrong with it. I should state expressly, they have the right to do that. Really. Now, moving on. They marched, this person who embarked on this protest, the PDP member supposedly, marched to demand that all political parties be given access to inspect election documents. The protesters later can return. Hardfast continues afterwards. Do please stay tuned.
You are tuned in to
Hello, welcome back to Hardfast to Nigeria Info Herring Port Harcourt. I'm Died, 27 gun past 3. Discussions are on, still on today's site comments. Before I had a break, this item about residents stranded around the GRA area, edges of a bar road, when some members of the PDP in Rivers State embarked on a protest and blocked water lines and some parts of a bar road, and and I was saying that's a right. I mean, if they want to embark on a peaceful protest for anything, they have a right to do that. The same way anyone has a right to do that. I find it somewhat commendable, interesting, and I use this word deliberately. I find it somewhat commendable and interesting that the Rivers State Police Command did not receive intelligence reports about this protest. Both commendable. It means that the Rivers State Police Command identifies the right of these PDP members to embark on a protest. When it got unruly, possibly I suspect it got unruly, or it was disruptive. I think it was that they were dispersed, which is appropriate, I suppose. So commendable one that the Rivers State Police Command identified the rights of these persons to embark on a peaceful protest and let them do so. Ironic and interesting at the same time, however, who wants to take a protest. That is quite interesting as well. You know when almost any other person is starting to comes with over and they will disrupt peace that we are enjoying in River State. But I've no sound. Like I said, both commendable and moving on. They marched to demand that all political parties be given access to inspect election materials. Leader of the protester, Deputy Speaker of the River State House of Assembly, Edison here, while addressing journalists, called for all political parties in the state to be jointly allowed to inspect whatever materials that will be inspected office for the. Do I have? Okay, here we go.
Physically,
that many things, but the rule of law. That is 1,001 things. No, okay. Let me borrow Jay's expression here. That is 99 things. One of them is the rule of law. It cannot be. And Mr. Deputy Speaker, being the Deputy Speaker of the River State House of Assembly, Honorable Edison here, I mean, you of all persons should know the rule of law, should be conversant with the rule of law, should know what the rule of law is. Let's listen once again to what the Deputy Speaker had to say.
We have come physically to register our protest and our presence that INEC cannot allow any of the
political party goes to court and receives leave of court. These have done, and candidates have done, by the way, to inspect INEC materials. PDP, nobody has a right to unilaterally want to inspect materials or inspect materials as the case may be. Anybody can inspect materials. If you go to court and you get leave of court to inspect materials, then you can inspect materials, whether you're PD, AC, MPP, YP, or PAM's Change Hands Party.
This is democracy.
We have to inspect election materials, and they go to court. If you feel to inspect election materials and you don't go to, they don't have to allow you inspect them. There is the election law. And it doesn't even sound logical as far as rule of law is concerned. If a party or a candidate or interested say we go inspect the election material and say we must, if you want to inspect, if you're certain to inspect, go to court also and get leave of court to inspect, suggesting that somebody wants to inspect and that as a matter of fact by four things the rule of law ain't one of them.
Any inspection that we protect.
As I respond to, but if you want to inspect materials, go to court and get permission to inspect materials as well. There's no law or rule that says you must inspect them jointly. If somebody has gone to court to get leave of court to inspect materials, and then you say that they must inspect or you must supervise the inspection, it almost sounds like that. It almost sounds like you're saying, like the PDP is saying, before they inspect. Sound like. If you want to inspect, go to court, get permission from court to inspect. If somebody has, if has been the operative term here, if someone has gone to court permission to inspect, then you say they must inspect with you, or you must inspect with them. No, and I don't even have to be a lawyer. I don't have to be a member of the House of Assembly, an honourable or an excellency to figure this one out.
We're not asking that PDP should be done. We're also not agreeing. The witch cried, and the next morning the baby died.
You can't demand it. If the procedure says it has to be a joint inspection, it's for we have laws. We are a nation of laws. That's in our report. We are a nation of laws. We've got a constitution. We have a judiciary. There are question marks about whether they are the last of all the common man, but that's a different matter entirely. We've got a judiciary. We've got procedures. We've got processes. And I'm not aware of anything in our law, and it doesn't even sound logical that every party must inspect together. What if the parties did not go to court to seek to inspect materials? And AT Gulf candidate in Rivers State, Tony Cole, says he and other members of the APC were assaulted and injured while selection material assaulted and correspondents of his vehicles were also destroyed. He said today's act was a deliberate plan to stop the APC from inspecting INEC documents needed to challenge the March 18 polls at the election petition tribunal. Do I have that here? I don't know.
Friday, when I went on and I got there was nobody there to demand for a CTC document. I called, said he will be available on Monday. You remember?
One of the most popular expressions in your country is go to court. Like happens with any elections, the winners are going to be excited by the results. So they'll be thanking God. In the Nigerian case, they'll organize Thanksgiving services, as has been happening across the country. Those who lost out in the elections, rightly or wrongly, will feel displeased and might even decide to go beyond feeling displeased to going to court to challenge the outcome of the elections. And by the way, the reason the expression go to court has been popularized after the elections is because it is a constitutional procedure. It's a right. Anybody who is displeased by the outcome of any election, whether it is Labour Party or PAM or Change Hands Party, has the constitutional right to go to court to challenge it. Part of that process may mean expecting them that way for the election. It's just where they have a case, they don't have a case. So I'd like to implore that with all the parties involved, all the ideas themselves, the audibles and excellencies, let the law take its course. You're constantly advising the masses to hope on God and let justice take its course. So why is it that in the matter that affects you now, we have a problem with letting justice take its course? Let justice take its course. I mean, nobody's advocating for any violence, but if people are saying we want to go to court, we need materials to go to court, what is wrong with that? Let's see, was there anything else that caught my attention as I checked out the news today? Let's see. Do have to wrap this up in a moment. I'd really like to get to. I'd really like to get to today's rant shortly, or rather as soon as I possibly can. I've got a few comments here before I move on. Let them inspect jointly. The same with the campaign jointly. Same day, same venue. It's laughable. God won't let these politicians to cause unrest for us. Good afternoon, Di. Sometimes I wonder if these people called politicians listen to themselves. That there must be joint inspection is really funny, and that's from Dave. It's not that they didn't get intelligence reports, but the intelligence was destroyed by Hezbollah. Okay, I believe he's referring to my comment on the police, Rivers State Police Command, not getting intelligence report regarding the PDP protest. Anyways, I have to move on right now. That's it for today's side comments. Once again, appealing to the politicians, let justice take its course. There's no need to hit up this. People feel displeased by the result of the election. They have a right to feel that way. And they have a right to challenge whether in Rivers State, in Sokoto State, in Kogi State, in Lagos State. Even the presidential election is being contested. If that one can be contested, the result of the presidential election, why can't the result of a state election be contested? And they have a right to do that. After all, once again, after the elections, we have popularized the expression "go to court." People are not trying to go to court, and then somehow, some people, some persons, are trying to stop that somewhat. It's break when I return. Today's round comes on. Please stay with us.
You are tuned in to 90.5.
With hygiene practice. Be more responsible with how you dispose waste products. The environment will be better looking without litter and exposed garbage. We love our city clean. This message is from 92.3 Nigeria Info.
You are tuned.
Hard fact.
Let's rant just a bit. I've got something to like to press your thought to mine all the way till 4 p.m. Pardon me. Welcome, Mark. Still on track to Nigerian. So yeah, let's go straight to today's rant then. Something in my mind. Let's see. Now, just some days ago, I think about a week or so ago, I was standing on some road and I saw a police team. It looked like a tactical unit. They were apprehending some persons that looked like they possibly, allegedly, I can't say for certain, but it looked like they were the peddlers of illegally refined crude, aka fire, petrol or something, and they stopped them. They apprehended their vehicle. I think they had the vehicle loaded with illegally refined crude or petrol, and they were making an arrest. Of course, the police can't make an arrest. There are conditions, and we'll get to those conditions in a moment. But they can make an arrest, definitely. However, there are processes, there are procedures. I saw this police, and this was happening right in front of me, by the way, so it wasn't something I was ready to, and it put out right in front of me. And it's obvious that those that were being arrested were not resisting arrest in any way. They were not. But the officers just kept on slapping them and hitting them and slapping them and punching them. And these fellows obviously were not resisting arrest anyway. Might I remind you, this was not reported to me. It was playing out right in front of me. And it just got me thinking. Really, yes, maybe those persons being there and punching and slapping, kicking, obviously is an arrest video. Anyway, like resisting arrest in any way. And it got me thinking once again about, the illegalities in our justice system, how security is generally perceived as the right to compel themselves to behave in any way or manner that they choose, just because they are security agents. Well, it doesn't want. So to this round, by the way, the River State intelligence report is not all past illegality. Waving around intelligence report or screaming intelligence report does not give you the right to conduct or engage in illegality, no matter how you're trying to shroud that illegality in security matters. What's the matter that's brought up this rant and going on and on about this at this time? So you may have heard that over the weekend some incident happened with the arrest of some lawyers or something of that nature. Let's go straight to the River State Twitter account at Rivers Police NG, where a statement put on. Now here's that statement. Let's get to it now. Arrest of lawyer Petition. River State Police Command has been drawn to the list of the arrest of lawyers and APC election materials. It is important to inform the public of what really happened, and this is a good thing. It's good that the police is trying to inform the public of what happened. That's a very good thing. It's a welcoming thing. On 31/3/23 at about 11:20 a.m., information was received that some lodgers occupying 3 rooms in a popular hotel were seen carrying packages in and out of the rooms and printing what seems like INEC documents, including results. A video recording of the activities in one of the rooms was forwarded by the informant to the police commissioner. The information neither disclosed the identity of the lodgers nor who they were working for. As a responsible law enforcement agency, the police needed to act on the intelligence. Thus, on the basis of the report, the police approached the court and said the was dutifully executed on 4/23 at about 7:02 a.m. Course of the search, persons were arrested and several documents, laptops and printers recovered. The arrested persons and exhibits were taken to State CID. An assistant commissioner of police was tasked to lead the investigations. It was also profiling them, and it was reviewed of the arrested persons. Yes, the APC state chairman and party gubernatorial candidates in the last election showed up at the station to inform the police that the laws were acted by the party to prepare for filing at the election tribunal. Subsequently, the NBA president and GENSEC called the commissioner of police, who assured them that the lawyers will be released when they had finished making their statements. Accordingly, the lawyers were promptly released on self-recognition, while the other 5 persons were released to reliable day. Since the investigation lacked the technical competence to establish the veracity of suspected printed fake INEC documents, this was requested to send the Commission's ICT personnel to inspect and identify the documents. The police command wishes to assure that once that is done, the most appropriate and professional thing will be done. The command joins members for the information and reports every suspicious movement around them. Effectiveness of policing predicated on collaboration and information sharing. Signed, SP Grace Ringakoko, Police Public Relations Officer, River State Police Command, Port Harcourt. Let's x-ray this statement released by the River State Police Command. And I'm afraid I may not have plenty of time for that. I'm trying to rush as much as I can. What are the conditions for an arrest? When can an arrest be made, and what are the conditions for this? And once again, a lawyer to figure. I don't have to be this officer. Tell for the Google search and show you just about almost any days. Now, first, arrest is the power to detain someone in order to get or prevent a crime. In order to investigate or prevent a crime, the police's power to arrest, however, can be arrested for. The police have 5 main powers to arrest. 1. Arrest without a warrant. Anyone they can to defend and they believe an arrest is necessary. In that situation, the police don't need an arrest warrant. When they have doubts is when they might get a warrant. But when the police believes that you are committing a crime or about to commit a crime, they don't even need a warrant to effect an arrest. 2. Execute arrest warrants issued by the court. 3. Arrest those who fail to answer or breach their bail conditions and those who breach the conditions of a police caution. 4. Arrest those who breach a court order or injunction. 5. Arrest those they suspect to have breached the peace or are threatening to do so. Let's talk about the arrest of a person who has committed or is committing or about to commit an offense. When the police is not certain that a person has committed an offense, but they suspect that the person might be committing or is about to commit an offense, there has to be certain elements involved. One of which is, or two of which that they refer to as reasonable suspicion or probable cause. Reasonable suspicion or probable cause. Now, what exactly are these? What is reasonable suspicion? For example, it means any reasonable person will suspect that the crime was in the process of being committed, had been committed, or was going to be committed very soon. That is what reasonable suspicion is. When you ask 10 people, from this thing I've observed, it looks like this person was committing a crime, or was about to commit a crime, or maybe had even committed a crime. So there has to be that element. A police officer can't just arrest a person because he feels like it or because somebody told him something. Now, let's get back to the incident in question here. The police say that they received intelligence reports. They got a video was forwarded to the police commissioner showing people printing, where is that again? Some lodgers occupying 3 rooms in a popular hotel were seen carrying packages in and out of the rooms and printing what seems like INEC documents, including results. A video recording of the activities in one of the rooms was forwarded by the informant to the police commissioner. The information neither disclosed the identity of the lodgers or who they were working for. As a responsible agency, the police needed to act on the intelligence. Yes, I give it to the police. You need to act on every intelligence somewhat. However, what exactly makes printing of materials that have some INEC, maybe INEC logo head, what about that exactly is illegal? I mean, for example, if I'm in a public place, I could be in a business center or a cyber cafe, and I go to, maybe I could be conducting research, and I start printing out INEC documents, maybe from the INEC server, from the INEC website, or some other websites, but materials that have INEC logos on it, and I start printing it out at the business center or the cyber cafe. Does that make me a criminal, or does that give room for suspicion of a crime because I'm printing out materials that have INEC insignia on it? Does that should that immediately raise suspicion that I am committing a crime because I am seen with materials that have INEC insignia on them? However, once again, the police should act on every intelligence, So the police decided to do that, and then the police approached the court to obtain a search warrant. I suspect strongly that this warrant was got by the police because that video alone did not show in any way that a crime was being committed. Once again, the police don't need a warrant to effect an arrest. The police can effect an arrest without a warrant. But I suspect strongly that the Rivers State Police Command, even from that video, assuming there really is a video, could not ascertain that a crime was being committed. That's why it had to get that search warrant. So fine, we need to investigate, and that's a good thing. The police decided to get a search warrant, and then upon getting that, I'm sure they stormed this hotel and stormed the rooms where this person were, where they were printing or moving around materials and printing stuff, right? Fantastic. So the police goes there because they received a report, and they should investigate. Why not? They should investigate. Something unruly could have been going on there, and they got there. But I have to go for a break now. I'll return and conclude this rant in a moment. Please stay tuned. Hard Facts returns shortly.
Good afternoon, sir. Please, I need a room to rent in your house.
Okay, where do you work?
I'm a nurse.
That means you won't owe me rent. Congratulations, young lady. You have yourself a house.
Well, thank you so much, sir. So, how much is the rent?
90,000 naira. Oh, but wait, where are you from?
I am from Akamata.
Akamata what? Akamata in my house? If you know how you got into my house, please get out right away. My spirit and that of Akamata people don't have anything to do together.
Sir, what have I done?
Your people from Akamata are known for bad things. That is what they represent, and you can't live in my house. Just get out right away.
What's going on?
Leave my house, young lady. Yes, our differences extend to our languages, culture, food, and even belief. But we are bound together by the cord of love. With one heart, with one voice, we will make Nigeria a hub of greatness, a place where the people live as one.
This message is brought to you from the Center for Democracy and Development, CDD, with support from the UK government.
We are back. This is your number one talk station. Nigeria Info.
And now, Hard Facts.
Hard Facts with Diode.
Welcome back. See Hard Facts to Nigeria Info here in Port Harcourt. I'm Dio. So, continuing with today's rant right now. So the police from the statement, got to the hotel. They received intelligence report with a video. People were moving election stuff, printing out stuff. Maybe with the election results had INEC logo on it. Blah blah blah. So they got a search warrant, stormed the hotel, stormed the rooms, and then let's see. In the course of the search, 8 persons were arrested and several documents, laptops, and printers recovered. The arrested persons and exhibits were taken to the surveillance center and later transferred to the state CID. Let's pause there for a bit. So the police gets there, and yes, truth as the intelligence report stated, found printers, laptops, people were there printing stuff, it looked like INEC materials, had like INEC logo, result and all of that. What about that looked suspicious? What about that looked illegal? Once again, what are the reasons the person can be arrested for? Arrest anyone they suspect has committed, is committing, or is about to commit an offense. So what is it that these people did that amounted to an offense or the commission of a crime that warranted the arrest? What exactly was it? Because if a person has said something is going on here, I expect the police would go there, acting on intelligence or the complaint. When you get there, you ask questions. Who are you? What are you doing here? So the police rather made the arrest. It was in the process and then transferred them to state CID. In the process of profiling them, it was revealed 3 of the arrested persons were lawyers. Once again, I asked the question, why were they arrested in the first place? When has it become a crime to print out results of elections or print out materials that have INEC logos on it? What was it about what they were doing in the hotel that made the police suspect that a crime was being committed or about to be committed that led to this arrest? Such that they had to get to the station first to determine that these are lawyers and blah blah blah, and then they were then released. Now, the lawyers were released, blah blah blah, and then meanwhile, since the investigating team lacked the technical competence to establish the veracity of the suspected printed fake INEC documents, why does the police suspect that the materials are fake INEC documents? Why? What is responsible for that suspicion? Once again, you've identified that these are lawyers of a particular party defending their party. These other persons are probably aides to these lawyers or working for them in some capacity. Is it then unusual or unreasonable that they will be in possession of these documents? Is it unthinkable that they will be? Is it not natural, expected that they will be in possession of these documents? They are lawyers, for crying out loud, in an election petitions tribunal. If they don't have those documents, who else should have those documents? Sadly, I have run out of time. Sadly so. Sadly. I think I'll continue this after the 4 p.m. news. I have to wrap up the rant. So, for the first time possibly ever, I don't remember if this has ever happened before, I will continue the rant after I return from this break coming up, the 4 p.m. business news. Once again, I'm not sure it's ever happened before, but I have to conclude this rant. I think it's very important. I think it's crucial that I do so. So, I'll return shortly. Just stay with us. Hard Fast continues in a bit.
We talk about everything.
92.3 Nigeria Info.
It's 4 o'clock.
And now the business news.
Hello and thanks for staying tuned. Now, data from the Debt Management Office has shown that the federal government's borrowing from China grew under President Muhammadu Buhari. The data showed that total bilateral loans rose from $1.58 billion as of June 2015 to $5.07 billion as of December 2022. Total borrowings from China rose from $1.39 billion to $4.29 billion in the period under review. Now, China's loans make up 84.73% of the total amount Nigeria owes to other countries of the world. The remaining 15.27% is spread across France, Japan, India, and Germany. The 36 states in Nigeria shared a total of about 9.3 trillion naira as federal allocation between June 2019 and December 2022. A period of 43 months. Data sourced from 43 monthly reports to the Federation Account Allocation Committee as released by the National Bureau of Statistics indicated that Delta State got the highest allocation during the period under review, while Akwa Ibom and River States followed. The foreign oil prices have surged after several of the world's largest exporters announced surprise cuts in production. Economists warn that higher oil prices could make it harder to bring down the cost of living. Brent crude prices rose after Saudi Arabia, Iraq and several Gulf states said on Sunday they were cutting output by more than 1 million barrels of oil a day. Russia also said it will extend its cut of 500,000 barrels per day until the end of the year. And to oil prices, light crude goes for $80.17 a barrel and Brent $84.63 a barrel. Finally, official exchange rate, a dollar goes for 464 naira 60 kobo, a euro 507 naira 2 kobo, a British pound 576 naira 63 kobo, and a rand 26 naira 13 kobo. Now, that's the business news. Remember, peace is the path to the prosperity of a nation. Let peace reign. Thanks for listening. I'm Adedayo Ilushakin. Good evening.
You are tuned in to 92.3 Nigeria Info.
And now, Hard Facts.
Hard Facts
with Diode.
Hello and welcome back to Hard Facts to Nigeria Info here in Port Harcourt. I'm Diode. 3 minutes gone past 4. Discussions continue and still continue with my rant. As I mentioned earlier, I'm not sure this has ever happened before. Usually the whole rant is done with by 4 p.m. But I didn't conclude it and I have to conclude it. So back to the matter again. In case you just joined me, by the way, today's rant is on the statement released by the Rivers State Police Command on its Twitter page to arrest of lawyers handling APC election petition. And the police said that they wanted to inform the public as to what happened, and that's a good thing, by the way. That's a very good thing. That's commendable. I commend the Rivers State Police Command for making an effort to inform the public. However, the thing with information is the public can decide to dissect that information and make what they want of it. I'm expressing my thoughts on that information provided by the place. So, quick recap. The Rivers State Police Command got intelligence reports. A video was sent by some person to the Rivers State Police Commissioner showing people in some hotel reportedly occupying 3 rooms in the hotel, moving around, carrying